Are you constantly running around doing lots of things but accomplishing very little? Well, if you're like me, I can be doing dishes in the kitchen, find something that needs to be taken up to the bedroom, start folding the towels I left on the bed, take them into the bathroom, and then realize the sinks need to be cleaned. And by the end of the day, I have done a little bit of everything, but I still feel like I've accomplished nothing. Well, beautiful dreamer, that feeling is about to end. Stay tuned as I share with you the 3 secrets of achieving focus so you can prioritize the things that you actually want to accomplish on a consistent basis. The definition of focus is to concentrate your attention or effort, or to give particular attention to something, which kind of cracks me up in our modern digital age where everything is targeted at being delivered in quick, short, high-energy sound bites to keep people's attention. Do you know what I mean right now? Okay, when did we lose the ability to focus, or even to recognize the value of it? Maybe it's just me, but there's a meme on social media describing a woman trying to clean her house, similar to the scenario that I shared at the beginning of this episode, where she takes items from one room to the next and gets distracted at every stop until she gets to a closet and it ends up going through a stack of old photos and memorabilia. Anybody else in here, or is that just me? And her house never even gets cleaned. Well, this was my life on a daily basis. So I started thinking, maybe I wasn't the only one. Okay, I get it. Cleaning the house or doing the dishes may not seem that critical at the moment. But when it comes to our goals and the things that we truly want to accomplish in our lives, if we continuously get distracted, they'll tend to become a vapor that disappears right before our eyes. And this is why learning about focus is so critical. So let's talk about how we can implement focus and combat where it's lacking in our lives. Are you ready for this? Because focus is not just vital. It is actually the essential ingredient for accomplishing all of our goals amidst all of today's distractions coming at us from every angle. In fact, as I was researching the importance of focus, I actually came across some interesting and encouraging information. When we think about focus, what we are usually really after is productivity. And not surprisingly, productivity is one of 3 areas that the brain uses to actually accomplish what we want to accomplish. Focus being the first thing. Productivity, like I mentioned, is the second. And then the one that got me really excited, creativity. So first of all, focus. It's the ability to concentrate our attention on a particular task at hand. Secondly, productivity refers to the efficiency with which we actually complete the task. And finally, creativity is the state of mind that synthesizes our innovative ideas, as well as generating solutions to problems that may keep us stalled or stuck. Now, who knew that creativity was a crucial component in helping us achieve success? Because so often, in my experience, creativity is given a bad rap and mislabeled as the opposite of focus or productivity. This information was so freeing and intriguing to me, and I hope it was to you. Okay, maybe you already knew all of this, but I hope you're still just as excited as I am. Did you know that there are actual studies out there showing that too much focus can be detrimental? Okay, before we get crazy, let's discuss what this looks like. Have you ever had a project or assignment due and you couldn't do anything beyond staring at a blank page or computer screen? This is where that integral creativity comes in. Internally, when we crave an internal burst of creative inspiration in order to accomplish something, This is comparable to our thirst for water when we're dehydrated. You see, something is missing in order for us to move forward. And it actually has a name. It's called positive constructive daydreaming. How do you like that one? Well, you may still be a little unclear on what this looks like. So for clarity's sake, let's rewind a bit. Do you remember this is the form of creativity that we used in our initial process of creating our goals? When we simply began to dream about what our ideal life would look like. And then we were able to move forward with our vision boards, etc. In those temporary moments you get of blankness, the best way to enhance focus and improve overall cognitive performance, how do you like those big words there? It is actually to schedule a little creative distraction time. And this can still be productive. Think about reading and researching topics like we talked about last time. Books, articles. In fact, reading is one of the best ways to stimulate creativity because we usually visualize what we're reading. Or another fun creative tool that I love to use is mind mapping. And if you've never heard of mind mapping, I'm going to drop a link in the description about where I first learned about it. Just like our initial ideal dream life, we creatively evolved the process until we had tangible goals and action steps. And this is how this process helps you. So you can see creativity can actually lend a hand in helping you become more productive in your projects. Another tool or hack to create and maintain focus that leads to productivity is to create a plan for the upcoming week, month, or year. Even going so far as breaking this plan down into our previously mentioned action steps written down somewhere will also help you stay focused. Think SMART goals here. Personally, I've had to learn to use a daily planner for this because it pulls me back down when those creative daydreaming moments begin to float away like a helium-filled balloon. Another tip is taking small breaks throughout the day to think about unrelated things, which can also help clear the mental fog and provide a much-needed respite that can recalibrate and help you focus better. It's important to recognize that our brain needs to toggle between targeted focus, productivity, and creativity to not only accomplish more in less time, but also to enrich the quality of our work and our overall life experiences. So whether it's for work, school, pursuing our dream goals, or even personal growth, being able to efficiently focus so that you can effectively make use of your time can be truly empowering. So get ready to crush it at home and in life with all of these new superhero vibes that you're going to be feeling. Okay, getting back to creativity. It can't become an excuse for not accomplishing those dreams and goals through intentional action steps. Remember, your creative dreaming is how you determined where you wanted your life to go in the first place. And if this isn't equally partnered with intentional focus and the productivity that follows with the implementation of those action steps, then there really isn't much focus at all, is there? It's just daydreaming, if that. Okay, now let's take a look at how everyday distractions can become dream killers and derail us from our path to living our happily ever after. Remember when I mentioned the distracted mom meme? That is a true to life statement, not just for me, but it's actually so many of the women that I talk to on a regular basis call me crazy. But when I have important things that I need to accomplish in a timely manner around the house, I even create a to-do checklist for myself here at home. I'd like to point out that at the time that I am creating this, I also have laundry on my bathroom floor because this took precedence for the moment, okay? It was on my checklist. But seriously, I find myself getting easily distracted away from the things that I want to accomplish daily. So I will often refer back to my list just to make sure I stay on track. Another thing that works well, if you find yourself chasing imaginary squirrels or rabbits, is mindfulness. What this looks like is Frequently throughout the day, check in with yourself to make sure that you're heading in the direction that you intended for the day and that you're staying on task. Okay, it may sound silly to you, but next time you're on a road trip, take note of how many times you check your GPS for the exact same reason. That's what mindfulness is, checking in with yourself to make sure you haven't taken a detour for the day, which is me like 5 times a day. Okay, and don't discount social media here. It's way more distracting than any squirrel when you're trying to get stuff done. Now you might be wondering, Carolina, what if I'm not the one causing the distraction? That's a really great question. Let's talk about phone calls, kids, and other things that interrupt you when you're on a roll. If it's possible to turn your devices to silent when you're working on something that needs your focus, now I know this isn't always an option, but this would help tremendously because we have this subconscious feeling that we have to answer every call and text. But that's not true. You have the power to create your own communication boundaries. Now, people in real life, that's another issue. When it comes to family, that can be relative, depending on the task at hand. Whether it's your spouse or your child, you can still communicate with them that you need X amount of time uninterrupted to accomplish a specific task, but reiterate your why to them, followed by when they can have the same kind of focused attention. That's so important to your loved ones. Now, the same process can even be utilized at any workplace. Phones off, doors closed, do not disturb discussions, etc. No matter where you are, there will always be someone who disregards your boundaries. But repeatedly sharing your need to accomplish your goals may eventually lead others to desire the same things in their life. Now, once your desired outcome exceeds your hesitancy in sharing your heart on the matter, you're going to begin to focus towards success. Finally, consistently remind yourself how continuing to give into these distractions can significantly delay or derail you achieving your desired dreams and goals. All right, I'm going to give you a few strategies for improved focus. First of all, create a distraction-free environment. I've noticed I have a greater tendency to get distracted at home because there are so many other things around I think I need to accomplish around the house, such as dishes, laundry, etc. Making dinner, you get the idea. But you may be perfectly fine working from a home office. The key is to have a place where you can focus, whether it's in a downtown office building or at your kitchen table. Also, like we talked about, limiting technology to what you need for the current project to prevent random bored scrolling sprees through social media, turning off that phone. Or if you use technology for work, you may have to limit or delete apps to accomplish this. I know it sounds scary, but it's easier than it looks like. Another proven technique is the Pomodoro method, which is taking 25 minutes of focused work followed by a 5-minute break to enhance productivity. This would be a great time to take a quick walk or take that creativity break that we discussed earlier. And now we're going to discuss something dear to my heart: the role of focus in personal transformation. As a transformational life coach, I've experienced so many instances where intentional increased focus has led to significant breakthroughs in personal as well as the professional lives of the people I've coached. You will hear me mention this over and over, but one of my favorite moments in coaching is when I get to utilize it to pull out of someone a dream or desire that was buried so deep inside they forgot or didn't even realize that it was within them, much less part of who they were created to be. This is when that focus is truly transformational. And as you begin to focus on your goals, action steps, and dreams on a daily basis, you will eventually experience the compound effect of long-term personal transformation and eventually achieving your very own happily ever after. So let's talk about inevitable setbacks. I don't want to mislead you here, because there are always going to be times when things don't always go according to plan. Or, better yet, you change the plan midstream. For example, earlier in the week, I had a task list of 5 items that I had left to accomplish when we were invited over by our very good friends. Now, my love language is quality time. And since it had been a while since I had seen these friends, I put my task list on the back burner because it wasn't anything that would have crashed and burned if it wasn't accomplished that day. So you will have to determine and learn when something comes up, if it's more important as an action step, because nurturing friendships is one of mine, or if your current task still holds precedence. At other times, emergencies or just life's responsibilities come along that prevent us from finishing what we had planned. We can't beat ourselves up for these things. But on the same note, we can't continuously make excuses for not focusing on the task at hand. As an example, I took a break from writing for a whole year because I had a family member going through a serious medical issue that just brought up too many overwhelming emotions in me for a while. Obviously, I've passed that season, but remember, it's okay to have off days or seasons where focus seems impossible. Okay, now we're going to have a little call to action. Pick one of the steps that we talked about to implement immediately and share your progress or your struggles in the comments below for a little community of support and maybe some feedback from me. Number 1, implement a planner or a to-do list to have something to come back to and keep you on task and focus. I told you, this really, really works for me. 2, practice taking a creativity break, doing some research or mind mapping for a short period of time when you're feeling stuck or unable to move forward. 3, simplify your space. Dedicate some time to declutter and organize your workspace and or devices to minimize physical distractions. 4, adopt the Pomodoro technique. Try this method for a week. Note any changes in your productivity and in your well-being. And 5, incorporate mindfulness. Try adding a 5-minute reset into your daily routine to enhance focus. That would be me running up to the bedroom, totally forgetting why I went there. Thank you for joining me today as we discover the timeless truth together, that focus is actually a combination of these 3 secret ingredients. Focus, followed by productivity, and implementing creativity, my favorite. Let me know which action step that you're going to begin to implement. And if you found this episode helpful, please subscribe, share it with a friend so that we can all accomplish the dreams and goals that we were created to accomplish in a much more focused manner. Because I truly believe that you can achieve your fairy tale life and that happily ever after isn't a lie.